So we're here at the Wembley Arena with Kalle Sauerland announcing George Groves' next fight against Christopher Rebrasse. First of all, Wembley becoming a familiar ground for George.
I'm originally from North London, so I know it pretty well.
Definitely. And after the last fight against Carl Froch, I mean, what a magnificent fight, but how was George, like, straight away after that? Was he back in the gym straight away? Was he on the phone to you straight away?
George was on the phone to me at about 4 AM. I think I got back to the hotel about 3:30 after the fight and had an SMS from George at 4, says, basically saying, get me a shot straight away. And, I thought I'd let him cool off for a few days. Was still the same. He went off on holiday, had I think 6 days holiday, or something ridiculously short, and more or less said, I don't want to mess around here, I want to go straight in the deep end, get me a title shot. I said, okay, the best way to do it is, of course, to fight an eliminator. Looked at what was available, and we saw this name here. We thought it'd be difficult because it was European champion as well, to make it in a short space of time. Luckily, he has a very good management. We were able to reach a deal over the last weekend, so 5 weeks or 6 weeks later, here we are, next door to the stadium, and we're fighting in the big setup at the arena, and we're delighted.
And who were some of the other potential opponents that you were looking at for George?
Well, it weren't really names. It was someone. We needed someone with a very high ranking. So obviously we looked at Chavez, who was number 1. We looked at Ramirez, who was the number 2. We looked at a guy called Edwards, who was the number 6, I believe. But really, the selling part for me and this at the end was the fact it's a European title, as well as so we got a bit of silverware. It's a box check for George if he can pull it off here. But it's a fight which is, George is under pressure to perform, but he knows that. He's chosen the route. Let's go in the deep end. He could have easily said, I need to tune up a 2. I've had a hard year. Let's do that. He said no. Let's go this way.
Definitely, and of course the fight's on 20th of September, and for an eliminator for the WBC title, which Sakio Bika holds, and of course was there for the whole week in the build-up to the George Groves fight. But Bika faces Darrell in August. Do you think whoever wins that, and whoever wins that, if George wins, do you think that fight could happen this year, or will that be more likely early next year?
I think it's a fight that you could do in December. I think December's realistic on that. That would be my answer.
And do you think that could be a fight that happens in this country? I mean, you've got the European super middleweight champion coming over here. Do you think you could bring?
Well, I think the bonus of working with George is he has a great fan base. He's built up a great fan base. And, we're expecting. We've set up, as I've said, we've set up a big Wembley. It's a big version of Wembley Arena. We expect to sell it out, and I think we can put financial offers into anyone and bring anyone over here. So it's not like we don't have a home market. I think I'm confident of delivering those fights in this country. If on the other hand there's some mad offer which means us going to Vegas or to Macau, boxing takes you to many places, but at the moment, we're just concentrating on September 20th, and that is at Wembley.
No, for sure. And in terms of some of the other fighters you've got in your stable, David Price, another British fighter, do you think we could see him on the undercard for this show?
David and George are on 2 separate journeys, and if that makes sense for David Price and us, then that would be definitely an option, be a great option. But on the other hand, we've got different priorities with David as we do with George, and I'm never going to try and marry them up. If that makes sense at the time, why not?
And a couple of months ago, I was reading that David could possibly fight the winner of the Tyson Fury Derek Chisora bout. Is that realistic? Could we see that happen?
David? Look, I mean, I saw some comments recently from Frank, although I'm not sure if they really were from Frank. I can't believe that he would come out with something like that, but someone said on behalf of Frank that Price was uninteresting for the winner. Now, considering that Price is definitely the bigger draw than both of the other ones, I don't believe it's sold out, and I don't believe it's anywhere near sold out, for July. So, it's a fact that the winner against Price is a big sellout crowd.
Yeah.
You know, and that, you know, turns into pound notes for the fighters. A lot of talk about being an eliminator. Now, all I'd say is that the eliminator for the WBO has just been fought with Leopai, so how can it really be an eliminator for now? I mean, it might be an eliminator, but for 2016. So they're going to be hanging around a while. The Klitschko's will make them wait, and in that time, I think Price against either of them is a great fight, and it's a great fight for the UK. It's an interesting fight. It's a good heavyweight fight. So I don't really see the logic in saying that, you know, Price is not interested. You know, I don't know. I guess it's to create a storyline behind the fight now, using Price.
Definitely. And in terms of going back to the George Groves fight on September 20th, have you got a TV network yet? Will it be likely to be on Box Nation or Sky Sport?
Not at present. We're talking. To be honest, we signed the fight yesterday, so we'll be discussing with all the networks. You know, where's a great home for this, and you know. The obvious one, of course, is Sky. It's where George's last fights have been. We'll talk to everyone. You know, we've worked with Sky in the past. We've obviously worked with Box Nation, but you know, there's some other one or two interesting leads we're following up. We'll take it from there.
Definitely. And a name mentioned in the press conference was Mikkel Kessler. Any word on Kessler versus Froch 3?
We're talking to Eddie, and Eddie in turn is talking to Carl. You know, I think Carl's on a break, and he deserves a break. You know, at the same time, you know, we of course want to move forward with Kessler. So we're at a point where we have to, you know, sit down the next few weeks and see what is on the table. You know, some other big fights, Ward, for example. You know, Mikkel said he'll fight Golovkin any time. So you know, Golovkin obviously fights Gil in the summer. Couple of weeks, I think it is. That's also an interesting fight. As you said, you go down to 160 and fight Cotto. Also a good fight.
And finally, just before I let you go, when do tickets go on sale for the big show between...
Tickets on sale for September 20th go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m.
So that's great. Thank you so much, Kalle.
Thank you.